Hey everyone, Richard at Ryden's Room here, doing my latest review. This is for the 8th of the New Jedi Order series, Edge of Victory 2 Rebirth. And absolutely love this book. Took not very long at all to read it. Really enjoyed it as part 2, so I was keen to jump into it as quick as possible because of part 1. First of all, this is what I got on Valentine's Day for my wife. This is the one of the Lego Star Wars sets. Good timing with the new game coming out next month, but this is Ahsoka and Darth Maul from Mandalore, Clone Wars Season 7. Probably should have said earlier, but like as usual, spoilers ahead, the odd Disney Star Wars reference, and of course, in terms of the EU/Legends, only up to the current book, so up to Edge of Victory 2 Rebirth in the NJO. I'm sorry about the weird glare on my screen. I don't know why it's doing this. It didn't do this in my video like 10 minutes ago. But yeah, this is pretty nice. Yeah, so basically Ahsoka versus Darth Maul, and I've actually set it up to show like as if Ahsoka was Darth Maul's like apprentice. She's sort of standing, by his side in the Mandalore throne room, which is really quite a cool idea. And of course I've got the chamber. Now this is one that in Clone Wars, it's like a Mandalorian like Jedi or Sith prison holds, contains their force powers, and it's quite cool. It's got the little bit in the front. It seems like a see-through bit, so you can actually put Darth Maul inside as well if you want. Yeah, absolutely like this. And then you've even got, okay, I don't know how, but that was upside down the whole time, and now it's not, so that's better. You can see the top where his head would be, and yet there's even like a little slide inside under his throne where there's like room for a blaster and even a lightsaber, because like a lot of Lego, it came with a free extra one. So yeah, along with the other pieces, actually Darth Maul's lightsaber as well, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that's in there. So yeah, I suppose if I actually had red lightsaber beams rather than blue, it would look more like an apprentice feel, but oh well. No, it's okay. So yeah, on to the actual reviews. This is Edge of Victory 2 Rebirth by Greg Keyes, and this is a good one. So like part 1, I can't mention how it seemed a bit strange, like all focus on Anakin and Solo, which is absolutely great, but there's like nothing the others. It's like you had like Luke arranged contact Tankade, Han and Leia had like disappeared, and then I kind of was expecting them to sort of show up, help Anakin out when he's like rescuing Tahiri, and none of that happened. It was entirely there, so it just good and all, but it did seem a bit odd. It's not filling in the gaps at all. No, it's not like, I don't know, Feast for Crows, Winds for Winter, where it's split across two separate areas, like geography wise. This is more just what came after, so quite good. Effectively, just those showed really that there was nothing worth telling in their story. I mean, a lot of time's passed in these books. I mean, I think at this over 2 years have passed. But yeah, I don't mind. I think it probably benefited a bit more from that, actually, that it was like just part 1's pretty much entirely Anakin's story, and then this is after that. It's not like filling in the gaps in it to, like, I don't know, the Obi-Wan show covering what he does like halfway through in the next cover, which comes out in May. So it's just the next one, which is a good idea. I mean, I've heard a lot of time passes in these books. I mean, this is book 8 and roughly 2 years has passed, so a lot of time has to pass over, which makes sense. This isn't like abusing plot where your characters just fast travel. They teleport. It's not like they travel as fast as plot needs them to. No, a journey through hyperspace can take like weeks or months, depending on how far they've got to go, and not being in hyperspace is even longer. So it's good that they've done that. So much better for us. Yeah. Ultimately, again, I don't want to go into too much in this. The video just going on. It won't be that exciting. But main plots were, again, Anakin still doing his thing in his quest to stop the Yuuzhan Vong. He seems to have a bit more ability to know where they are, due to his connection, like the new lightsaber crystal he's forged. Yeah, pretty good. And there's him, Tahiri, and Corran Horn. So it's quite cool to see that Corran was back, because of course he was basically the fall guy for the Yuuzhan Vong bombing the planet in the third book, which is obviously harsh, but the government singled him out, which is pretty dodgy. And then he's had to sort of disappear for a while. But yeah, it's good to see that he's back as well. And the Han, Jason and Leia are off. They're like effectively helping like innocents. They're setting up like travel relays for them, and of course it turns into like the Yuuzhan Vong show up. It turns into a full like slaughter. Jason's still got his issues with it, but Han lays down the law, tells I'm your dad, I'm the captain, you're gonna listen. You want to like go meditate on this, on your feelings, do it, but in your own time, etc. It's quite good to see Han's kind of got his like old strength back, but he's still pretty broken. So yeah, that was a good one. Again, I'm loving Jason's conflict. He really does seem to struggle with the idea of Jedi being warriors, and it's a good idea because that's a huge part of the issues with the prequel trilogy. You know, Jedi, same fanatics, they're not warriors, hell, they say attack clones, yet they're forced to be, because if they just didn't, they chose to basically be peacekeepers during Clone Wars, people would have hated them. The Jedi had to get involved, and of course, then it came up to bite them, because that's exactly what Darth Sidious was planning on. So yeah, it's great seeing Jason have these conflicts as well. It's kind of like the issue of Disney Star Wars. You get pretty much nothing to why Ben suddenly turns to the dark side. You get that awful bit, which him and Luke remember, where Luke decides to murder him in his sleep just out of a slight sense of darkness, which is terrible. I'll never agree with that decision. That beyond that, he's like, Snoke is like throwing, giving him like ideas of how much power the dark side can give him. You assume it's like that, but you don't know. Han mentions that Snoke's just trying to get his power for himself, and this is before the whole Snoke turned out to be thing. But yeah, you have no idea whatsoever. So if Jason is going to turn to the dark side, at least he's grappling with like the moles of being a Jedi. And same with Anakin, he's so sure of what he's doing. Again, I don't know. I've heard that one of their children does turn to the dark side, but I don't know which one it is. But again, please don't put this into the comments, because yeah, these books are 20 years old. But there's kind of like the Aerith and FF7 thing. The big deaths in the Harry Potter films. There's always someone who doesn't really know this stuff, even after all this time. And yeah, I've heard bits, because particularly in the build up for the prequels, like you hear with the books being the big ones at the time, you hear what's going on. I've kind of heard bits and pieces, but I kind of tried to block it out. I mean, there's this series, there's Legacy of Force, and there's that Fate of the Jedi as well. So fit off bits and pieces I've heard now and then. I don't know where they exactly happen. It's like the thing with Chewbacca. I heard Chewbacca died, and he did. It's first thing supposed to be right at the start, even though that made a lot of sense to the story. But yeah, anyway, back onto the main part. So that's their plot. And the other one is Luke, who did obviously nothing in the last one, with annoying. Mara's illness seems to have come back. She was taking an antidote, but it ran out. There wasn't enough, and she's going to die. She's not going to be able to give birth. But no, she manages it. Luke, Mara, they've got that strong connection through the Force. Luke initially gives in to like the dark side, just starts trying to like that Jedi healer who's able to like remove poison cells. This is just beyond her. Luke starts like going in full aggression, trying to like do the same thing himself, but that fails, and then he just kind of links up with Mara. Their bond, even their child, they kind of all connect to each other, and that's it. By the sounds of it, they've completely destroyed illness once and for all. By Luke acting in defense, linking up, basically using the good side of the Force, and it works. It shows why the good side is better, even if it's not short-term power, but it's a hell of a lot better in the long run. That's always been the whole point. I was hoping Luke's going to like truly embrace the power of the good side, because obviously through the Force you can do incredible things, not just dark side powers that will work on your enemies. But I'm looking forward to this. Luke he's been holding back too much. He's not accepting what the likes of like Kip are saying, and even this one, Kip has like seems to have had enough. He's saying this is their war while the Empire was Luke's. And yeah, that's the other plot. Jaina's back with Rogue Squadron, although of course they're being forced into the whole Pod 6 thing and having to fairly keep her out of Rogue Squadron for a while, but it's all just temporary. They know what they're dealing with, because Borsk Failer's still a complete dick. But yeah, it's kind of dodgy. Kip basically feeds intel on this like Death Star-esque super weapon, so the New Republic will probably fight it. They do. The military guy, Admiral Keyfree, absolutely loved that both, and he's just great. He commits fully. They destroy this super weapon. It just turns out to be a giant like source of like more Yuuzhan Vong life. I think like one of their living like I suppose asteroids they've got. And yeah, Jaina's not happy. It was all lies. Yeah, like Kip said, they had to do it. Destroying one of the Yuuzhan Vong's biggest like breeding facilities made a huge difference, and it did. The Yuuzhan Vong are actually struggling at some points in his books with like how it seems their forces can't really live forever. Maybe they've got like a limited life or whatever. But yeah, and Kip's right. They've been effectively witnessing planets being slaughtered, innocents being murdered or enslaved, and yeah, well, like he says, Jedi, Jaina, Jason, Anakin have kind of gone from planet to planet. Just like Kip are from their own home, and yeah, they know what it's like to lose it. So yeah, makes sense. Of course, it's dodgy that he completely lied about what was out there, and wanted Jaina to be his apprentice, and now she's not interested. But you can see what he's doing. This isn't like the Jedi Academy series. Again, spoiler for that one, where he did embrace the dark side and like blew stars up. This was hitting the Yuuzhan where it hurt, and it really did. But yeah, you get what he's going through, and yeah, the main like new Cat Yuuzhan Vong, she's like some sort of like medic type woman. Yeah, she's seemingly taking this personally, so yeah, it's looking forward. And yes, that's like the rest of their plots. Oh, finally, yep. Mara, yeah, like I said, they defeat her illness once and for all, it seems, and the child's born. And yeah, Ben makes perfect sense. It's really much more believable than Ben Solo. Ben Skywalker makes sense because, you know, Ben, Obi-Wan, is the reason Luke discovered the Force, you know, had somewhere to go after his aunt and uncle were murdered. I mean, you know, personally, likely would have called his son, you know, named after, seeing as Leia's chosen Anakin already, is probably going to be Owen or Ben. But yeah, Ben makes perfect sense, you know, and yeah, I like it. So over 2 years must have passed in this book. So yeah, great story overall. You know, Anakin, they were teasing of like romance with Tahiri at the beginning, but of course they were like friends with the kids and they got a bit older, and that happened. And it wasn't a heat of the moment thing either. It's what something Anakin wanted, which is quite cool, because Jason got rejected by a woman for being too young, and yet Anakin, 2 years older than this Tahiri girl, and yet she thought he'd reject her for age, and he didn't. So yeah, it's a nice plot. There was even a hint in an older book that the two of them together are completely unstoppable, like Luke and Mara were. So yeah, I'm looking forward to where that goes. Yeah, really good book. Definitely enjoyed it quite a lot. Well, I burned through it on my bus and train and everything very quickly. But yeah, on to the next one already. Star by Star by Troy Denning. This is the big one. It's like over 600 pages. And yeah, I'm still looking forward to this. I'll go into some thoughts about this eventually. Yeah, got more on the way. Read this book review once it's done, and also the Legacy of the Force, the set for after this. Again, I don't know what's going to happen in that one, although I get the feeling this is more going back to the basic Jedi v Sith, just looking at the covers. Like people, someone with a red lightsaber against someone with a blue lightsaber, etc. But yeah, makes sense that they'd kind of go back to that after this is just all about protecting their own galaxy. This is like properly good side v dark side, you know, in like Jedi Sith or Jedi Dark Jedi, etc. I don't know the details, like just get an idea of what it's about. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Main reason I bring that up is because I've just actually bought them new again. I've no problem with secondhand books, but after like, well, you can't really see it too clearly, but look at the spine. It's 20 years old. Well, exactly 20 years old actually, because this is the first of the 2002 books, I believe. Actually, let's have a look at that. Learn something every day. Yeah, 2002, and they even referenced the future writers, which is kind of cool. So they must have like known for sure exactly what would come out this year. I'll go into this in the next book. But yeah, no issue with secondhand books, but it's nice to have brand new ones. That's why I bought the book out, as I would like to actually the physical product. God, terrible lighting here. I need a better lampshade. Yeah, this is the Heir to the Empire books. This is book 1, of course, and there's no point for that. Books 2 and 3, you get the idea. But yeah, I just figured New Jedi Order's got 19 books. Legacy of Force has got 9. And on this set I got the guy threw in a bonus one called Millennium Falcon 3, which is pretty cool. Obviously I'll read that eventually, but I can't read the back of these books or even look too hard at the cover pictures. But yeah, 9 books. I found them all on Amazon and eBay for like £5-6 each, so can't really argue. Although I did buy the last one in this series, Unifying Force, for £11, but it was brand new. I'm not. Maybe one day I'll upgrade NJOs to new, but I probably won't, to be honest. But it's nice to have the very last one. I assume it's the biggest one. Hell, it's almost as big as this. But yeah, I'll do a future video of all the Legacy books together, because I've only gotten the 5 from Amazon so far, so waiting on 4 through eBay. All new, but if they weren't Amazon only, or they were too much Amazon, I just looked elsewhere. But yeah, obviously not a perfect condition. It's 20. Well, Legacy Force is not 20 years old. What, 2005, 6, 7, something like that. But close enough. So yeah, it's nice to have some in like new prints, but it doesn't really matter too much. But it's gonna be fun once NGO's done, because I do plan after all just jump straight into that rather than reading or rereading prequel trilogy. It's just this story's too good, and I want to see what happens with like anyone who survives this. But yeah, that's it. I'll do a separate video just showing off all the books. Again, please feel free when that video comes up to put in comments. I won't really say who I think this is on the cover, unless it's clearly someone like Luke. But yeah, so that's it. 600 pages, so star by star, so it'll be well till that book's up. But yeah, it's the end of this one. And again, one last thing, I love that the drawings are like how the characters work. Like, yeah, Luke is about 45, 46. Probably looks maybe a bit younger. Maybe Luke's always going to look good for his age, but same for Mara. But yeah, they do a good job of showing what them look like. Although Luke looks a hell of a lot older there, I've got to admit that. So yeah, what the hell? But no, good covers. They look quite nice and definitely stand out well. Same for the next ones. But yeah, that's it. And until next time, thank you. And again, sorry, please like and subscribe if you like this, and there'll be more soon. Probably a while till Star by Star, but I'll have other ones up in the meantime. Thanks. Bye.